Hi guys, you're watching the live commentary of me running the 2025 Western States. This was a very difficult run for me, stay to the finish because I may not have finished. We had 30 hours to finish 100 miles starting from starting from Lake Tahoe, which is at the very top of Lake Tahoe at a place called Pacific Palisades. And you run down, but you have a net gain of 17,000 feet and descent of about 18,000. So you're going up and down, up and down, up and down, all the way down to Auburn. You have 30 hours to finish. It may seem like a lot of time, but to finish 100 miles in that span means you can never stop. So this is an incredible race for me. There's 370 people that are able to run this race every year. So you think about it, over a 10-year span, that's only 3,000 people in the world that can get to run this. So it's very special. Here you can see we're at the start line. There's 370 of us gathered. I'm obviously very excited. I feel like I can do it. My goal was to finish in 26 hours, 27 hours. Not gonna lie, I probably could have trained a lot more. That's my kids saying hi to me. I could have trained a lot more. I just didn't have the time to train as much as I wanted to this year. But I thought I had 26 hours in me for sure. And you'll see how this race kind of tears me apart, and you'll see if I finish or not. But if you look at me, this is the first climb. This first climb is about 2,000 feet over the course of 4 miles. And we hike up to this, it's beautiful, it's 5 a.m. the start line, everybody's happy, adrenaline's kicking in, no one's tired yet. And we go 2,000 feet up to the escarpment, and over there you can see we're gonna crest here shortly. And once we crest, we start to head downhill. What's beautiful about this section is everybody comes out to support us, and it's just an incredible community. The trail runners themselves, their friends, their family, the community come out, and they climb up to the escarpment hours before we even start the race and high five us, and you can just hear the voice, how incredibly happy everyone is pertaining to what we were doing in the run. I think 100 miles is no joke, guys. I mean, driving 100 miles is hard. Imagine running it. And you're hiking 17,000 miles at elevation is challenging. And one of the most critical things, other than looking at the beautiful view you can see behind you, is you have to be able to fuel continuously throughout this race. And here's why. Because you have enough glycogen storage in a race condition for maybe 3 hours, like a marathon. Well, we're out there between those of us who are not elite. We're just average mere mortals. We're out there between, a really good mere mortal runs it in 24 hours. Someone like me who's been running ultras for a while, if I can get a 26, 27 hour finish, that's pretty good for a 50-year-old. So that was kind of my goal, was to hit 26, 27. And, it gets hot in the daytime, but in the morning, it's actually a little chilly. You can see snow on the ground, and the terrain is rocky. You got to navigate all the different terrain, and look how happy everyone is. They're cheering you on. I mean, we're not professional athletes. Of course, there's a cheer on the professional athletes, but it's a really unique community. We stay together, and everyone's there high-fiving you. Someone's out there with donuts. And this is the part we crest, right? And this is at the peak, probably 9,000 feet. And we start to crest, and we start to go downhill. This is really a fascinating kind of terrain. You look at this is all called single track. So sometimes, some years, that entire single track is filled with snow. So you got to really know how to kind of navigate that. But lucky enough, we didn't have to face those obstacles this year. We're in the high high mountains here, and you know, you're following everyone. Adrenaline's high. No one's tired yet, but that's soon going to change as it heats up. This is probably closer to mile 20-ish. You know, we're probably 4 hours in, 5 hours in, and you know, you're going to start to descend into your 30-mile base station, and it's like a 30. When you get to 30 miles, there's some crew out there that'll meet you. They can give you some supplies, and they can give you all types of different things that may help you reach your goals a little bit better. So I'm also looking at the screen to make sure I narrate correctly. But you can also take a look at how beautiful the backgrounds are, right? I mean, it's just green, lush. A couple of days ago, there was actually a storm out there. So it was like, you can see how lush it is, because we thought we were going to run in like really cool weather. But of course, that wasn't the case. It ended up being extremely hot. And as we descend into our first aid station, what I'm mindful of already is, hey, I've used up pretty much all my glycogen storage, and I need my endogenous glycogen. All the glycogen I stored, or basically glucose in my body, is probably on empty. Now I need exogenous glucose, exogenous energy. So part of that is being able to fuel up with glucose, with sugar as quickly as I can, because that sugar, when we're exercising or when you're under this level of stress, goes straight into muscle synthesis. So the glucose goes straight into your muscles, you absorb it, and then that gives you ATP, instant ATP, to generate energy, and hopefully you put some aside too for later, so you can go through glycosis. You're never able to fully recharge your battery in a bout like this, but you do your very best to top off whatever you can and let the glucose enter your body through, with the help of insulin, and directly into the muscle, which is the best thing about about exercises. You do not need the help of insulin to get glucose into the muscle, which keeps us moving. So you can look at the high country here. It's just beautiful. Basically, we start at the top, and now our mission is to descend into this place called Devil's Thumb. And you basically go down to the valley, and you go, I think as you go from like 8,000, 6,000, 5,000, 4,000, 5,000, and then you get to the base, and you now have to climb your way out. And by the time you get there, it's like 4 or 5 p.m. in the afternoon. It's 90 degrees, 95 degrees in the canyon. You feel like you're going to you feel like you're hiking in an oven. And, you know, at this point, we have these little scarves on us. They're called ice scarves. You can load ice in them so the ice drips over you and gives you some level of comfort. But still, you're overheating. Nothing's easy here. And you're just fighting the heat. So you can see here we're descending slowly into the canyons. And here is where, you know, you start to really feel the fatigue. You're about 50 miles in. You know, 40-ish miles in, no joke. You've probably done about 9,000 feet of climbing already, and they slap on another 2,000 feet of climbing over the course of 1.5 miles. That's material. And under 90-degree heat, that's even more material. So you cross the bridge, now you're going uphill, and this is where, you know, you take a deep breath, look at the view, it's beautiful. I feel okay here, you know, I'm still, I feel pretty good here, mile 50. I always feel pretty good at mile 50. It's what happens at mile 70 coming up that destroyed my entire race. I was here, the pace I was here, I was pretty comfortable in finishing at 26, 27. And, you know, I passed probably 10 people when I was going uphill. then gladly. You know, I really been working hard on elevation, vertical gain, climbing stairs, going on the Stairmaster, you know, on long bouts to get my legs and quads ready for these types of climbs. And for many years, I was not a very good climber. This time I thought I was really strong. And I performed really well in two of these climbs, which totaled about 3,300 over a course of 4 to 5 miles. And I would argue I did really well. So you climb out of this canyon, you feel really good, but then your adrenaline drops and there's kind of a crash. But the good thing is these race directors like Craig Thornley and the crew and the board of directors and the people from Western States, they know exactly when to give you a break, when to throw in an aid station. So at Michigan Bluff, which is roughly around 55, 57 miles, there's an aid station there. You get to refuel, top off, eat some watermelons, eat some fruits, top off your glucose, let the body temperature come down a little bit. And then you proceed on to a place called Forest Hills. Forest Hills where I have a pacer that can actually pick me up. So my really good friend Jimmy, he committed to pacing me for 38 miles from 62 to 100 without any training. He's an Ironman. He's a stud. He like, you know, he's a really busy life. And he's like, I'll pace you, Vic, no problem. So after Michigan Bluff, Jimmy hops in without any training and runs 40 miles with me, zero training. And without him, I don't think I would have finished the race. Much rather, I thought I was going to be in like 26, 27 hour range. That absolutely did not happen. So here you can see I'm in Michigan Bluff, coming down, thinking about, my goodness, it's getting a little hot. I'm not feeling that great. You know, am I going to make it here? Oh no, I feel dehydrated. And just when you feel like you're at your all-time worst, boom, you hit the aid station. I think they designed it this way because getting to that aid station, you know, after the hill, I feel really good and then the adrenaline kind of drops. So here I was really like, whoa, am I going to finish this race? Is this, you know, am I going to DNF? DNF stands for do not finish. It's kind of like the colloquial term for ultra runners in our sport, because the DNF rate for Western states is anywhere between 25 to 35% every year, you know. And you know, in marathons, most people finish whether it's 5-6 hours, but on ultra marathons, especially ones that are difficult, not everyone finishes. So DNF is kind of a, you know, this necessary evil in our sport where you did not finish, and that gives you the motivation to come back and run again. So over here you can see we're getting to that finish line. Hoka's been just such a great sponsor. They've really elevated this race. They're everywhere. They help us, you know, stay motivated. And you can see I'm finally at the aid station. Here I top off, I fuel off, and my buddy picks me up 6 miles later at Forest Hills. It's nighttime. I didn't feel much at night because you can't really see much at night, but the key with what Jimmy is doing is I'm just following him. Look, he's kind of walking because even though I'm running, I feel like I'm sprinting, but I'm only going like 14-minute miles, 15-minute miles. So your body's like, your mind and your body's a little disconnected. You're also a little delirious because you've been running, 14 hours, 15 hours now. This is right now about 10 p.m. This is the following morning. Take a look at that. So this is like 5 a.m. Jimmy's running. I'm following him. I'm trying to make it through the morning. I was like sleepwalking. There's a little bit of hallucination. Then we finally finish and we get to the aid station at mile, I think 90-ish. And here I was able to top off on some electrolytes. Over the night I was like throwing up. I threw up like 3-4 times. I couldn't keep some of my fluids in and some of my nutrition. And I know why. I was undernourished. I stopped taking in the calories I needed around miles 70, 75 because your gut just doesn't feel good. But if you don't feel if you don't take in the calories, you're gonna feel the nausea and you're gonna want to vomit. So that's a note to everyone that if you ever want to do an ultra, you want to keep fueling through 75, even though it's uncomfortable. So you can see Jimmy's in the front. I'm following him with everything I got. And now we get to the mile 95. This is it. We have less than an hour to finish the race. We may not finish. I mean, I'm not feeling well. I'm trying to cross this bridge. This bridge has all the flags celebrating all of the runners that are from all around the world that came to run this race. Look how Jimmy's running. I'm just like, look how bad I look. In this moment, like, oh my God, I still have a 600 feet climb. He's encouraging me. He's like, you got this, man. You got this. He's really worried that I'm not going to finish the race. I am too. Think about it. We've ran 29 hours, nonstop, no sleep to this point. He didn't train for this. He jumped in and did 40 miles with me. You know, one and almost 2 marathons. And he's telling me, you got this, Vic, pull yourself together. And I'm following him, I'm listening to him. It's like he's guiding me. And the juxtaposition is the beautiful view here. And you can just see how wonderful that is. And, but you feel miserable. I want to throw up. I can't hold my fluids down. And, you know, this is a guy that's overheat on the right. And he's like, his pacer is putting water over him. Okay, so we're like 29 hours and 10 minutes here. We got 15 minutes to finish the race. The cutoff's at 3 hours, 30 hours. We have 50 minutes. We're going uphill. I'm giving it everything I got. I'm really trying my best. Look, I'm running, but he's walking. That's just, he's like, my feet, I feel like my feet is stepping on coal every time I press down. And guys, if you ever do one of these races, you don't take Advil because it's bad for your kidney and you just don't do it. So you got to deal with the pain. You can have some Tylenol here and there, but it doesn't do anything like significant. It feels like you're stepping on nails. Okay, so we're finally at the last 20 minutes of the race, 30 minutes. We get into the city of Auburn. Looks like you're going to make it. And the city of Auburn wakes up and it greets you like nothing. And they come and they say, good job, good job. And they come out. And then I'm in the golden hour. This is like the hour where I may not, golden hour is like 29 hours. You may not finish. And here we think we're going to make it. But Jimmy's like, you got to keep moving, man. You got to keep moving. So he's telling me up at the hill, we're going to start running again. And there was a really nice person who owned a home. She gave me the hose to her house, you know, like to water. And I drenched the hose all over my head and body and cooled down. And that gave me like the fight, the fight for the last 15 minutes to run to where we finish. It's at the Auburn High School. And we finish on this beautiful track. And I think beautiful is an understatement. Let me see if I got it here. Maybe not, but beautiful is like an understatement. And, you know, the whole city of Auburn greets you there. And this is my friend from Fleet. He's the owner of Fleet Cincinnati. He took this video of me coming in the finish line and sent it to me. That was really nice of him. And, you know, that was it. And I finished in 29 hours, 37 minutes. I had 23 minutes to spare, or I DNF, did not finish. So here's the award ceremony. This is where I got my award from the wonderful people from Western States. That's Topher. He's a legend, one of the first Americans to win UTMB. And this is all of the race organizers. Craig, he's a legend himself. And there's the medal. Thank you guys for listening. And I'm very appreciative of all the organizers at Western States and the city of Auburn.